Hi everyone, welcome back to my garden. It's been forever, literally probably a couple years since I uploaded a full-length video and I've missed you. I've been working really hard on my watercolor channel. I have a watercolor channel and so that's where I've been putting most of my energy. But welcome back to my garden. There has been so much going on, including something that I did to add rocket fuel to my garden, and you can do it too, and it's free. And my heart was almost in my mouth when I did this little project, and you'll see why in a minute. So stay tuned for that. I'll talk about that in a little bit later, but for now, let's do a little bit of a tour of my garden, and we're gonna start out yesterday morning. Here we go. Good morning, everyone. It's time for a refill and a time to go out in the garden. Good morning. Good. Cheers, by the way. My house isn't perfectly clean, and I'm okay with that. As you're about to see, my garden isn't perfect either, but it makes me incredibly happy. And right now, these gardenias in it are in bloom, and they are spectacular looking and smelling. My very first sunflower is open. Let's go say hello. Good morning, sunflower. These Calibrachoa, I found, survive my winters here. They do go dormant in the winter, but they're just so pretty when they come back. And I like not having to replant anything. And I do believe that purple is verbena. Got a little bit of a hyacinth vine popping up. These hyacinth vines are really fun because they will reseed themselves and you can eat their little beautiful purple flowers. Let's go see what I have out back. Ooh, the woodpecker is pecking on a telephone pole. Do you want to come with us, Felix? Felix used to be outside. I met Felix right here on this patio. Yeah, you gonna be brave? This one won't let me pet him, but he's getting closer and closer every time I come out here. And I brought him inside finally when he showed up limping, and I just couldn't take it anymore. Now he is safely inside. And then behind him, you see Flurkin, and he also introduced himself right here on this patio. I started feeding him too. Do you hear the woodpecker? But he is an amazing house cat, and they've been such a blessing to us. Every night, my husband and I like to relax on the couches. One cat lays on me and one cat lays on Drew, my husband, and it's just the best. It's the best. My crinum lilies are going to be gorgeous this year. Wait till you see these. Now my garden's very messy, but it's messy for a reason. So a little adolescent cleome there. And then all these flowering things right here, the white flowers, those are cilantro going to seed. And I just collect them and then throw them out again and again and let them grow where they want. So all these white flowers you see back here, the tiny little white flowers, that's actually cilantro gone to seed. And I also think it kind of protects the strawberries underneath them from the sun. They don't like to get too hot. These are some sort of ornamental onion, but I just love the architecture of these. Sometimes you'll see lizards hiding in them when they get big enough. And I let a lot of things go to flower, one to have seed, but also to have flowers on the shoulder season, which this is the spring. And there are tons of little bees and things on these flowers during the day. And they're hungry. They need some flowers. So even though it looks a little ratty, I just do it for the pollinators. I leave these for the pollinators. These, oh look, there's one now. Anyway, so yeah, I think the bees appreciate having these flowers. The name is escaping me. I'll put it on the screen. But these grow wild, and and there's tiny little bees on these too. I don't know if you can see, just the tiniest little different species and varieties of all kinds of different bees and bugs. Different bugs like different flowers. So to have a variety of flowers, you are supporting a lot more diversity in the ecosystem when you have a diversity of flowers. And if they're obviously, if they are more, if they're native to your area, then that's going to be better for the bugs that are naturally in your area. These are considered weeds by some, but to me, they serve a really important purpose that makes me feel good to have that in my garden for them. Good morning, little robin. The robins love my yard because I have so many worms. You want me to show you why? It's because about a year ago, I poured rocket fuel on my garden. What was that rocket fuel? Here, I just ordered a load of free wood chips. I didn't know that you could get free wood chips, but I think it's called Chip Dump. I'll check and make sure what that's called, but I want to make my garden ever more and more organic and self-sustaining, like in the principles put forth in permaculture. So what I'm going to do is, I just had this garage built this summer, and now I've got this mess back here, and it's all clay soil back here. It's not rich at all. So I've started with the principle of what's called lasagna gardening, which is you first put down cardboard, which I've done that. I need to put more because there are some weeds poking through. And then one of the reasons why you want to put cardboard down instead of digging up weeds and tilling the soil is you don't want to hurt your fungus. The fungus grows in these long strands that can reach miles long, and they clean your soil of toxins. They feed your soil. They help the plants absorb the nutrients. I did that with this bed here that has been mowed over by a storm, but it's full of zinnias and now expired sunflowers. But I put down cardboard and then put down a layer of soil on top of it and did not dig into the soil. And so that keeps my fungus healthy, and that keeps my plants healthy. And so I'm going to do that back in the back. So I ordered a load of wood chips. I'm going to put chips on top of this cardboard, and then I'll put soil on top of that. And I'll continue to add to the layers over the years. And the wood chips break down and make beautiful, rich garden soil. I do have a few tips about using wood chips and using a free chip dump service like Chip Dump. Preferably you want to get the chips in the summer when there's still a lot of sap in the trees, because the sap add extra nitrogen to your chip dump. And you also want to avoid some kinds of tree bark, like I think it's wood ash that is, or is it black ash? Let me look that up. I'll put that on the screen here. That actually has some toxins in the wood that will not allow some plants to grow. And also, if you tip your chip dump people, they'll bring your chips faster. I put in an order about 4 or 5 days ago. Still no word. And it was scary, y'all. Let me show you why. So they had to come, when you sign up for this free service, and they have it in Canada and the US, then you sign up for this service to get wood chips, and they will come dump a huge mountain of wood chips, and you can't decide. Sometimes it'll be more and sometimes it'll be less.
He's coming in the garage. Can you come forward a little bit?
And I got more. I got a whole mountain. And see these lines here? The truck when he went to dump was like an inch from these lines. It was, my heart was literally racing. And I had this awful adrenaline going because I really was afraid they were going to hit those lines. So that was crazy. So that was about a year ago.
They filled my garage to up here, and I can't close my garage door, so I have to get this cleaned up. Just be warned what you're getting into when you get a chip drop, because this is a hot mess. But hopefully it will pay off for years to come by nourishing my garden. But I gotta get this cleaned up.
And this was all just sand because this garage here is pretty much brand new. And so I put a ton back here. So this was just really bad dirt. It was just sand, basically. So let's see what we find if we dig down just a little bit. There's a worm. So these worms help this material break down, and then that feeds your soil. And then your soil turns from brown and yucky, dead soil to living soil, fun, full of healthy bacteria, fungus, fungi. And look how black this is turning. Let's dig down to the ground. I mean, this used to be sandy, light brown, red colored dirt, and now it's turning black with just one application of these wood chips. And so this will enliven your dead soil to put wood chips. All right, let me show you a few more things. There's a lot to show you in my yard, so we'll have to save some of it for another day. But another garden favorite of mine is this lettuce. I throw these seeds out. This is lettuce sandy, and it just grows literally like weeds. Like my yard guy came and he was cutting these down, and I was like, don't cut those down, that's lettuce. This is lettuce sandy. It's a AAS, All-American Selections winner, and it grows in the heat and sun better than any lettuce that I've ever tried. And it's just happy. Happy, happy, happy. So it grows like weeds. I mean, look, here it is. It's all over. And I've got quite a good bit of lettuce growing in here as well. And as you can see, I've let this is kale. And it is a perennial in my garden. Like, I can chop this once it's done seeding. See, here are the seeds. And I let them go brown, and then you can pick them if the birds don't get them. That's the other thing, letting things go to seeds. It feeds nature. It feeds the birds. It feeds the flowers, feed the pollinators. Here's some brown ones. See, like this. I need to pick those before the birds get them. Of course, I leave some for the birds, but hey, look, I want some too. I can plant these. I could plant them right now, in fact. And see, I've put these wood chips here, and look how black my soil is. And you just dig anywhere, and you run into worms, which worms are eating up all those dead things in the bark. And I don't know if they eat decomposing pine straw, but they certainly eat decomposing wood. And then They basically feed the garden and the fungus and the fungi and bacteria, and it all is this amazing ecosystem that then makes your soil hold moisture better, and it has a lot of nutrients to make everything happy and healthy. And so the thing is, you cannot, as this decomposes, just know it releases something into the soil that makes things not grow. So for a while, you can't plant anything in the area that is half decomposing, half soil. You've got to, if you do want to plant like in this area where you put the wood chips, you've got to plant the seeds into soil where there's no wood chips decomposing, because the decomposing wood chips, it's almost like they poison the plants. But then once they're fully decomposed, that soil and the ecosystem in the soil is so rich that it's like rocket fuel for your garden. And the robin has discovered my blueberries. So I probably won't have a lot of blueberries this year because he's eating them before they even get ripe. So that's a very naughty little robin. But I found that if I put netting on my stuff, things get trapped. Like birds get trapped in the netting, then the cats can get them, and that's never happened, but I don't want that to happen. So I'd rather just let nature take its course. It just, I don't know, it just makes me happy to have these things growing and flourishing in my garden, creating life in my garden. And whether or not I eat it or not is kind of a second payoff. Oh, there is something we can go eat. I just thought of something I can show you that we can eat that naughty little robins haven't stolen from me. We'll go back. I just noticed this. So I have cardboard back here, and because I was making this video, I covered it up. But there's cardboard, and this is eco-friendly weed management. The cardboard will break down, but it keeps the weeds from growing, and the weeds just want to grow everywhere. All right, here's some snap peas. This little vine already died. So, you know, it's not pretty to let things die and just, you know, like here's a bunch of morning glory seeds, and I just kind of let them decompose naturally, because I just think that's part of the cycle of a garden that's healthiest for the environment and keeps my bees and my butterflies and my pollinators and my birds and everybody happy, because they all have food and nourish each other. And then my garden kind of takes care of itself more than me having to do it as much. Snap peas. I'm going to let this one go. It's to the point where it won't be as sweet. But look at this little cutie pie. This will be a yummy one. Good. I just rolled out of bed, so don't judge me. All right. I think that's enough for this morning. This garden is about to bust open with blooms, so stay tuned. I'll show you more as things come into season. It'll be really pretty. So until next time, go garden your world beautiful. Bye, everybody.